There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden. The phones are ringing off of the hook, so I'm going to take up the ridiculous Drudge Report vitamin E debacle sometime in the very, very near future. Let's go to Alberta and talk to Elizabeth from way up north in Canada. Welcome aboard, Elizabeth. You are live.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. What's happening?
Good. Well, I have issues with hypertension or panic attacks or being too wildly crazy. And I had another panic attack the other day. So I've been on my longevity like I'm supposed to be. I've been doing like an ounce and a half in the morning and an ounce and a half in the evening of OsteoFX. It definitely helps to take extra osteo when I'm having a panic attack. But I just feel like maybe there's something else that I should be doing.
Yeah, okay, well, there is, and this is an interesting thing to talk about. How long in your life have you been suffering from panic attacks?
Well, I go through periods. So I'll go through a couple years where I have lots of anxiety and panic attacks, and then I'll go through a while where I don't have any at all.
Do you remember when they started historically?
Honestly, I would say after the birth of my daughter.
Yeah, how many years ago was that?
14.
Okay, so is there any rhyme or reason? I mean, is there anything you can do to predict when you're more likely to have a panic attack, or is it just completely random thing?
No, it's completely random. I have no idea when it's going to happen. I'll find that I'm a little more anxious maybe for a period of time, and then I'll have a panic attack. It's almost like it sometimes builds up, but sometimes it's just like, bam, panic attack.
Yeah, now when you're in the middle of a panic attack, without using the words panic attack, can you describe to me what happens to you? Like if I was a secret agent and I was spying on you and you didn't know I was watching you, what would I see you do when you were having a panic attack? What is it that physically and mentally happens? Yeah. What happens?
So physically, my shoulders pop up and over. I have a tendency to curl up into a ball, and I don't lay down on the floor, but I sit down on my haunches. I basically almost stop breathing. I can't force myself to breathe. It feels like I'm not breathing. I feel like you could probably see my heart popping out of my chest, and it feels like my chest is crushing me. Mentally, I feel like I'm dying. I think that I need to go to the hospital. I also think I'm completely crazy and that I have such a good life, and I never want to talk to anyone about it because I'm like, oh, you're so crazy for having a panic attack. What's wrong with you? There's nothing wrong with your life. You shouldn't be stressed like this.
Yeah, well, that's the old Catholic guilt coming back at you. All right, so all right, when you're having a panic attack, does anything happen to your physical temperature?
Oh, yeah, I'm hot.
You're hot.
Like crazy through the roof. I feel like my legs sweat, my arms sweat, everything. I'm so hot.
And if I was, again, to be spying on you when this was happening, would you look beet red like a lobster?
Yeah.
You would. All right.
Yeah, even talking about it makes me feel like I'm doing that. Like I feel it because it makes me feel so stressed out, and then for days afterwards I feel like that, and I'm very scared that it's going to happen again at work or somewhere where it would be very embarrassing for that to happen.
Well, oftentimes once we have the nutritional bases covered, right? Once we've stopped eating the bad foods and your body's more and more able to absorb the nutrients that you're taking, and you're taking the right amounts of the nutrients every day, and your system's being filled up and things are slowly starting to turn around. Once those nutritional bases have been covered and we've got that stuff handled, when symptoms like this persist, a really good thing to do is to intervene with homeopathic medicine. Homeopathy, at this stage of your recovery with longevity, would be a very most excellent thing to add on here. The problem with homeopathy is there are not any specific homeopathic medicines for anxiety. homeopathic medicine is prescribed not based on the diagnosis, but based on the symptoms that the patient is expressing. So, I could have quintuplets, right? Identical quintuplets. They have exactly the same genetics. They grew up in exactly the same house. They eat exactly the same foods. They might all be experiencing panic attacks or sore throats or arthritis or whatever. And in order for homeopathy to help them, it's entirely possible that they would each need a different homeopathic medicine based on the presentation of their symptoms. So, there's a homeopathic medicine that I would like you to start with to try to see if it makes a difference. It's called homeopathic aconite, Aconitum napellus. You have something to write with?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
All right, good. It's A-C-O-N like Nancy, I-T like Thomas, U-M like Mary, aconitum. Second word, N like Nancy, A-P like Peter, E-L-L-U-S, Aconitum napellus. Get that. It's a homeopathic medicine. It'll be in a little tube about the size of your pinky finger, and in that tube's going to be about 100 little white pellets. Get the 1M potency, the 1M strength, 1M like Mary. Homeopathic Aconitum napellus in the 1M strength. And the next time you get a panic attack and or you feel like a panic attack is imminent, because you can probably sometimes feel it building, and then other times it just hits you, like it just hits you out of nowhere, right? Well, under either circumstance, either when you feel it building or when it just hits you out of nowhere, take 2 pellets of the homeopathic aconite every hour 3 times. 2 pellets of the homeopathic aconite every hour 3 times. 2 pellets of the homeopathic aconite. And what's your blood type, Elizabeth? Do you know?
I found out last time you were here, and I don't remember for the life of me right now. I feel like it's AB positive.
Yeah, all right. So now, you're a big weightlifter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So one thing that you may find beneficial is Tai Chi or yoga. You may find. Have you done that?
I saw you last. I actually quit lifting weights. I've been doing a little bit of cardio here and there, but I actually started yoga.
How often are you doing it?
About 4 times a week. Sometimes it's just at home, and sometimes I go to a class.
All right, and you're breathing when you're doing it, right?
Yes.
Okay, and has that made any significant difference one way or the other, or not?
I really, really liked it. I haven't noticed that it's made a huge difference, but I feel very, I guess loose would be the word to put afterwards, because I have a tendency to be very tight, muscles drawn in, tense, and yoga has definitely made a difference that way.
Yeah, okay, so I want you to keep doing that. See, one of the things that you talked about here when you were explaining it, the symptomology of it, is that you feel like you can't breathe and like your breathing stops, right? And that's a significant symptom. And over time, if you continue to do the yoga practice, you will train your body to not be like that. It's a difficult train track to kind of jump your body off of. But I'm going to lean here on homeopathy. So get some homeopathic Aconitum napellus in the 1M strength. Just continue doing everything else that you're doing, and take that the next time that you get a panic attack and see what happens. Sound good, Robin?
Okay. Yeah, I think that's cool.
Okay, great. I got a little text. I got a little text here from someone who I think you're related to, your brother. Says, "Tell Elizabeth there's a longevity meeting at my place at 7 for the Dr. Wallach lecture dates." Okay. All right, Elizabeth, keep up the good work. Call me and let me know how it went. I appreciate everything that you guys do up there in the Great White North. All right, from Calgary to California, let's keep it in the C's, why don't we? Let's talk to Nadru. Hey, Nadru. Oh, my goodness, Nadru, I hit the wrong button and I dropped you out of the system. Sorry, Nadru, my bad. Just call me back. I'll pick up your call very next. Let's go to Donna in Kentucky. Hey, Donna, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I have a friend that has migraine headaches constantly, and she's had them since she was 15 years old, She's had an aneurysm. She's had it was brain surgery she had to go to Chicago to have, but she still suffers with headaches and has tried everything, even shot pain, epidural, everything.
Yeah. All right. Well, from our point of view, aneurysms. An aneurysm is caused by your blood vessels in your body. The arteries in your body are like an onion, and an onion has different layers to it, right? And all the layers in a nice healthy onion are all stuck together. But when the onion dries out, the layers in the onion start to separate. Well, when your blood vessels are deficient in the mineral copper, the layers of the blood vessels start to separate, and that's what causes an aneurysm. An aneurysm is a ballooning out of one of the layers in a blood vessel just because it's become structurally unsound, and the blood pressure inside the blood vessel causes a little bubble to form in the blood vessel. That's not a good thing. You can die from that. By the way, that's what killed Albert Einstein. He had an aneurysm in the big artery that comes off of his heart, so not even the smartest man in the world knew that he had a copper deficiency. But from our point of view, the operative causative factor here is a copper deficiency for aneurysms. For migraine headaches, it's a lack of a substance in the body called prostaglandin. If your body doesn't have the raw materials necessary to make prostaglandin, you become a candidate for lots of things, including migraine headaches. The raw materials to give the body to make prostaglandin are omega-3 essential fatty acids. Omega-3 essential fatty acids. So her health recovery program would be the Healthy Start Pack and selenium, appropriate for body weight, and 1 bottle of Prohoba Omega. 1 extra bottle of Prohoba Omega a month. Eliminate the 10 bad foods and keep her fingers crossed. Stick around, folks. Coming back. Nadru called back. We'll pick her up after these messages. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. January 30th, 2014. Dr. Peter Glidden, your steadfast advocate for health. Check my website out, why don't you? FireYourMDNow.com. It's got a new look and a new feel. Become an insider. $20 a month. Cancel at any time. Gives you immediate access to over 100 hours of archived health webinars and 5 hours of live webinars every single week. Live chats and health webinars. Live chats and health webinars. Oh, my goodness. It doesn't get any better than that. Nadru's back. Oh, my goodness, Nadru. I had an itchy trigger finger and I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that, but welcome back. You are live.
Thank you so much, and I'm so glad you don't have fat fingers.
I know.
Well, listen, Dr. Glidden, I haven't called in a while because I've got a team now here, and I'm letting them know that if I can do it, they can do it.
Well, that's the way to do it, and this is how we're going to change the world, right? You learn, and then you teach them, and they learn, and then they teach somebody, and they learn, and that's how we're going to do it.
Right. I have a lady, she actually came to see Dr. Wallach when he was here about 3 weeks ago. And she's an older lady. Her husband's a deacon. She started taking the products because her husband needed them. And so she said, well, I'll take them and he'll take them. But this is really hard for seniors who basically have been so bamboozled through the medical system that they want to take these nutrients like they take their medications if they remember,
Right.
And so she told me that she went to see Dr. Wallach, and I asked her how it was going. I gave her the CD Black Gene Lies and told her that, to keep taking them. And she hasn't ordered for a while, so I know she's got to be out of it. And that's how you can tell when people are not taking it right, is when they've ordered, months ago and they still have product, and they haven't ordered or anything like that. So she said the 90 nutrients was breaking her out. So I told her, well, it's probably taking some toxins out of your body, and if you want, you can actually put more water in it because you can't break down the nutrients anyway, And so I just want you to give your feeling on this because she's going to be listening.
All right, great. So she took the Healthy Start Pack and she developed skin eruptions. Is that right?
Yeah, broke out, she said.
All right. So, well, the major cause of that is a low-grade delayed hypersensitivity food allergy mediated by a part of the immune system called immunoglobulin G, like Godfrey. But that's just fancy schmancy doctor lingo. She's having an allergic reaction to one of the 117 fruits and vegetables that's in the Beyond Tangy. Now, the Beyond Tangy 2.0 Peach Infusion has less stuff in it that people are allergic to. Was that the one she was taking?
Yes.
All right. So if she had an allergic reaction, and it sounds to me like this is what this is. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball, but all things being equal, that's probably what it was. And that speaks to, if she had an allergic reaction to the Beyond Tangy 2.0, that is a drop-dead diagnostic indication that she can't even be downwind of gluten. Because food allergies like this are caused by destruction of the intestinal tissue, the villi. Well, what causes that? Wheat, barley, rye, and oats. And, there are some people that have a really, 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 really strong reaction to a cat, like the cat allergy, and there's other people that they have just a little eeny-weeny-teeny reaction to a cat, right? Well, it's the same with gluten. There are some people that have a major, it really slams them. And there's other people just a little bit. We're of the opinion that over 80% of the population is affected negatively by it. So this would speak to me of digestive tract that's in trouble. So what I would do is I would switch her to the Ultimate Daily Capsules. And the Cherry Mints. I'd give her the Ultimate Daily Capsules and the Cherry Mints as a stand-in for the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. She'll get all of the nutritional pop from those two things, but none of the allergic stuff, and it'll stand her in better stead. Now, she needs to continue, of course, the EFAs and the white liquid calcium. And in my opinion, everybody gets selenium. But also remember, because of the potential problem with her gut here, root beer belly might just make all the difference in the world. So get her some root beer belly, switch her from the Beyond Tangy 2.0 to the Ultimate Daily and the Cherry Mints. Keep your fingers crossed, because remember, proper medical nutrition is painless and should produce 0 side effects. Man, I just never want to interrupt Carlos. Santana. What can I say? If you're listening to the podcast, if you couldn't be with us live, thanks for listening to the recording. I appreciate that. If you'd like information about the business opportunity and or about the products that we talk about and how to get them at the wholesale price, or just to talk to somebody about what we're up to, 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696. And, of course, again, to call in live to the show today and every day, 866-582-9933. We do have some lines open. Let's go right now to California and talk to Andrea. Andrea, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hi, Doc.
What's up, Andrea?
I'm doing okay.
Good.
Yes, I have a problem. I was diagnosed with cervical cancer last year, and I did 2 chemotherapy and 5 weeks of radiation. Well, when I went back 6 weeks after for an examination, they said my body responded well to what I did. Well, up till now, I haven't seen anything to worry about as yet. But Meg, I talked to Meg, and Meg introduced me to tune into whenever you are on the air.
Yeah.
And to listen to Dr.
Wallach?
Hey, Doctor Don't Lie.
Yeah.
So I listen to all of those. But now I'm having a problem. I have this I'm having a problem with my throat. I've been to the doctor, I've done some tests, and they told me they haven't seen anything, but I know something is there. This minute I feel it, and the other minute it is gone. So I'm wondering.
Feels like a lump in your throat, and it goes away, right?
Yes. It goes away, and sometimes it comes back.
Yeah. Does it go away when you swallow, or when you swallow food, or does that make it worse?
No, I have no problem swallowing.
Yeah. All of a sudden, you'll just feel like there's a lump there, but it's not when you're swallowing food, right?
Right.
And when you feel like there's a lump there and you swallow, you just swallow saliva, does it go away temporarily, or does nothing happen to it?
Sometimes it goes away, and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, it's like a phantom, isn't it? It's like a little phantom pain thing here, yeah.
Yeah.
So, So, well, listen, first of all, right, Andrea, we can't treat cancer. That's illegal, and that should be, the fact that it's illegal should be illegal, honestly. They should let anybody treat cancer who can, right?
I know.
So, from our point of view, people don't get throat cancer because they have a throat. You don't get breast cancer because you have a breast. You don't get prostate cancer or lung cancer because you have those organs either. From our point of view, people who get cancer, their bodies have run out of the raw materials that they need to defend themselves against the stress of life, right? So and the chemo and the radiation treatment doesn't put nutrients back into the body, right? Doesn't put nutrients back into the body. It's like painting over the mold in the basement without paying any attention whatsoever to the source of the water that's leaking into the basement. And before you know it, there's going to be more water in there, which is why in the wonderful world of cancer treatment, the American Cancer Foundation, about 10 years ago, stopped talking about a cancer cure. They just threw that word out completely because they weren't curing anybody from cancer. And now what they talk about, what the party line now is 5-year survival time. So from the MD's point of view, if you have any type of cancer and you go to them for treatment and you're still alive 5 years after the treatment, that's considered a successful treatment, even if 5 years and 1 day later you die from that cancer. It's nuts. It's insane. It always comes back. Well, not always, but most of the time. Because the chemo and the radiation doesn't eliminate the cause. It just sweeps away the symptoms. So, when we're up against it like this, it would be prudent, smart, and wise to deliver to your body 100% of the nutrients that it needs to make itself healthy. And, into the bargain, stop eating food that's coming up the works and that's causing low-grade inflammation. So, if I were you, young lady, I would eliminate the 10 bad foods. And do you know how to get that list? Do you have that list?
No, I don't have that list.
Okay, so it's free. Just go to my website, fireyourmdnow.com. Make sure you put the now in there, fireyourmdnow.com. Sign up for my newsletter. It's free. It's right there on the front page. And as soon as you do that, you'll be directed to a document called Good Food, Bad Food. There are 10 foods on the bad food list. I want you to stop eating them yesterday. I don't even want you to look at these foods. Stop eating all 10 bad foods, number one. Number two, you got to slug down some nutrition into your body every day to give your body a fighting chance. What's your current body weight, Andrea?
125.
125. Yeah. Are you Jamaican, I'm assuming?
Yes, I am.
I've never been able to perfect a Jamaican accent. I've tried and I've tried and I've tried.
One, though.
Yeah, I can give it a go, sister, but I'm not that good at it. I don't know what I can do. I don't know. Yeah.
Yes,
have a rum jumbie. That's what I think I should do. So, at 125 pounds, what I would do is I would take one anti-aging healthy start pack, 3 anti-aging healthy start pack, 3 ultimate selenium SELEN like Nancy, IUM, 3 Ultimate Selenium. And as much of a liquid supplement called Z Radical, Z like zebra, as much of that as you can afford. And I'm not being facetious. If you can afford a bottle of that a day, then get a bottle of that a day. If you can afford a bottle a week, a bottle a month, whatever, get that and take it. Eliminate the 10 bad foods, get that other stuff, start slugging it down. And remember, everything's connected, Andrea. So when we're attempting a holistic intervention here, the idea of which is to give your body a leg up, well, it would be smart to look to see what happens, right? So, I mean, pay attention in the next month or so. You're only 125 pounds, so it shouldn't be that long for you to feel some type of benefit here, because remember, properly applied holistic medical therapeutics produce results which are noticeable and measurable. It's nothing vague about what we're up to. So, you either feel better or you don't. Your sleep gets better or it doesn't. Your appetite gets better or it doesn't. Your weird little throat thing gets better or it doesn't, right?
Okay, yeah, because I started the Healthy Start Pack with Meg. So I'm starting to feel a little energy and so on, but I just need to know what else to add to it.
Yeah, well, that's why we're here, and that makes you the smartest girl in California, right? So, and the important thing, this is like, the 1-2 punch, right? Number one, you have to stop eating food that's hurting you. And number two, you have to take enough of the right supplements. And when you do both, everything comes together, sister. And it's just like an April day in Kingston. I'm telling you what, girl.
Thank you, brother.
All right, sister. You give me a call anytime. I'm going to look forward to that there. All right, then. You got to have fun, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, for goodness sake, if it's all doom and gloom all of the time, what is the use? Kick back. You want to put your Beyond Tangy into a little bit of rum? I'm okay with that. You want to mix the Osteo FX with a little bit of vodka, gluten-free vodka, I believe Ciroc vodka and Smirnoff are gluten-free. Tito's is gluten-free. Got to do the right stuff. Switch it up. Have a little bit of fun. Whatever. What are we going to do? Just slog it out here? Live to be 120 years old, but be dowagers, be like dour, morose people? I don't think so. We got to have a little bit of fun. Let's go down to Tennessee and see what's shaking with Joe. Hey, Joe. Thanks for the phone call. You are live. What about some moonshine, Joe? What about some moonshine? You got any moonshine?
No, my husband will take care of that.
All right. Hey, are you a NASCAR fan?
I am not. I'm not.
You know how NASCAR started?
No, sir.
It was bootleggers. Bootleggers souped up their cars because they were, running alcohol across state lines, and the police and the feds back in the day, they had these old dumpy cars, and so the bootleggers souped up their cars so they could run away from the feds when they were transporting liquor during Prohibition. That's how NASCAR started. I think that's a great story, but I digress. Thanks for the phone call. How can I help?
Okay, my husband and I have been taking the plant-derived minerals for 3 months, and he would take 2 ounces with his meals. But this past Sunday, I decided to take 2 ounces also, and about 3 hours later, I broke out, and part of my face was red, the soles of my feet were red, my hands were red, and it was a little scary, and my body was very, very itchy, and that lasted till Monday, this past Monday, and I'm still itchy a little, but it goes away, but I'm not really getting any redness. So I didn't realize the plant-derived minerals were that strong. Otherwise, I would not have taken 2 ounces at once.
How much do you weigh?
About 117, 118. I'm 5'5".
It's interesting. And you sure it was just the plant-derived minerals? It wasn't the cherry mins, and there wasn't anything else?
No, sir. It's just the regular.
plant-derived minerals. What's the bottle look like?
It's green and blue.
Green and blue. Yeah. And is it a liquid or is it a powder?
It's a liquid.
And it's a clear liquid?
Yes.
And it tastes really kind of astringent?
It does, but it has a delicious taste to me. I like it.
Yeah,
it's more.
Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, and I'm sorry. Tell me again. It's the end of the show. I'm a little tired. What's your current body weight?
It's about 117, 118. I'm 5'5".
Yeah, okay. All right. So you need ankle weights in a high wind. Otherwise, you're going to blow away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, you took too much of it. But typically that type of a reaction, if you had taken any other nutritional supplement that Longevity has, I would have guessed that would have been a reaction to a B vitamin called niacin. A B vitamin called niacin. That sounds to me like a classic niacin flush. But niacin flushes, again, don't last for, 72 hours like this one has, even longer. I've never, ever heard anybody tell me this before. This is a brand new thing for me because the only thing that's in that supplement is the plant-derived minerals. There's nothing else in there. There's nothing that you can have an allergic reaction to. There are no B, like baby vitamins, that can vasodilate your body. To have a reaction like that to a double dose of the plant-derived minerals, that's fascinating to me. Stick around. I'd like to finish up talking to you a little bit more about this after the break. Fascinating. Stick around, folks. And we're finishing out today's show, January 30th, Thursday, January 30th, 2014, with Joe from Tennessee. Hey, Joe. Are you still with me?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right, good. So it doesn't make sense to me that the plant-derived minerals should do this. Now, anything can create a side effect, but this is a brand new one to me, Joe. So this begs the question. On the day that this happened, did you do anything else that was different, like have a different food, something you've never had before? I mean, was there anything different other than doubling down on the plant minerals that you did that day?
There was nothing different. In fact, I think maybe the day before, I basically ate the same thing. I had gluten-free cornbread, and instead of using oils, I used butter and had black-eyed peas and northern beans and cabbage. So,
well, you should have invited me down. That sounds delicious.
And I season my beans with butter. So
yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. It's one of my greatest traits, I think. I don't talk about things I don't know anything about. I have no idea why this happened. It doesn't make sense to me biochemically. It doesn't make sense to me physiologically. I mean, I believe you that it happened. I guess, having said that, my only advice to you is, well, don't do that again, right?
Okay.
Now, Dr. Wallach may have an answer here, and whenever I get stumped, that's who I lean on. So I'm going to be calling Dr. Wallach in the next 12 hours. So I'll run this by him. And then depending on, whatever he tells me, I'll report back on Monday. I'm going to be back in the saddle live here again next Monday. So tune in for that. But, notwithstanding that funky little negative reaction, have you noticed anything at all in your body, mind, since starting the plant-derived minerals?
Oh, yes, definitely. When we first began, I had this dark spot on my back, and it was very itchy. The following day, it was gone, and my husband, his toes no longer itch.
I got to love it. And that's all you're doing is the plant-derived minerals.
Yes, sir. That's it. And it has multi-mineral complex, 32 fluid ounces, plant-derived minerals.
Yeah. So. See, that's the lead-in. You really should, if you're liking how you feel on the plant-derived minerals, as an experiment, both you and your husband should upgrade to one healthy start pack a month. Split it between the two of you and see if you feel even better, because the plant-derived minerals gives you 60% of the body's nutrient needs. 60% of your body's nutrient needs. There's a bunch of other stuff that's not in the plant minerals that you do need, and that's in the Healthy Start Pack. Now, I know a guy in upstate New York. His name is Bernie Owens. He built a multi-million-dollar longevity business just by turning people onto the plant-derived minerals. Just that one product, $20. I mean, how can you go wrong? 66%, it provides 66% of your body's nutrient needs. It's a great product, and there's a better one. So if you really feel like taking a walk on the wild side, get one Healthy Start Pack between you and your husband. Take it for 2 weeks and then tell me how you feel. But the Plant Minerals, man, is a really great product. It is the very thing that separates Youngevity from every other nutritional supplement company in the world. Nobody else has Dr. Wallach's know-how. Nobody else has Dr. Wallach's recipes. And nobody else has the plant-derived minerals. It is the most remarkable nutritional supplement I've ever seen in my life, and that's saying a lot. So you're in good hands, Joe, but as God is my witness, I have no idea why that happened. So let me run it by Doc, and I'll be back in the saddle on Monday. Until then, good luck and God bless. And invite me down for dinner next time, all right? That sounds delicious. Appreciate the phone call. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've done it again. You've wasted another 2 perfectly good hours listening to me. I hope you learned something today. I certainly did. Metaphysical Thursdays, I think, are going to be one of my favorite segments here. Dr. Russ Newman hit it out of the park as far as I'm concerned. Remember, you are the last best hope that your friends, family members, church members, and community members have to live long, healthy, and dare I say it out loud, wealthy lives. The pharmaceutical industry has let us down, and they've let us down hard. We bring to the table nutritional recovery strategies for the masses. Check it out. God willing, and the creek don't rise. See you Monday. Mike Phillips standing in for me tomorrow. Dr. Glidden over and out, reminding you to live long and prosper.